In 2009, Bobby Jamison drove his wife Sherilyn and 6-year-old daughter Madyson into the Kiamichi Mountains of Oklahoma. And then all three were gone, $32,000 in cash left untouched on the truck seat, and their dog still alive inside with aerial searches, ground crews, cadaver dogs, and a drained pond turning up nothing. And that is the problem. Bobby Jamison was 44 years old. He worked construction. Sherilyn was 40. They had 3 children, but only Madyson, the youngest, 6 years old, was with them that October. They lived in Eufaula, a small town in eastern Oklahoma, and by the fall of 2009, the family was visibly under pressure. Bobby had recently filed a protective order against his own father. There were financial difficulties. None of that explains what was about to happen. On October 8, 2009, a neighbor and a surveillance camera both captured the family loading boxes into their white pickup truck. That is the last confirmed image of all 3 of them alive. Whatever those boxes contained was never determined. They drove away. No one stopped them. No one waved goodbye. The Kiamichi Mountains stretch across southeastern Oklahoma, heavily forested, sparsely populated, cut through by unpaved roads that dead-end into nothing. Bobby had recently been in contact with a man named Robert Higgins, who owned a 40-acre parcel in Latimer County. Bobby wanted to buy land. The plan, as investigators later pieced it together, was to drive out and look at the property. They drove southeast from Eufaula. The route takes roughly 2 hours. Somewhere on those roads, they left the truck. On October 16, 8 days after they disappeared, someone reported a white pickup parked on a remote dirt road near Red Oak. The engine was off. The doors were unlocked. Inside, $32,000 in cash, Bobby's wallet, Sherilyn's purse, both their cell phones, Bobby's GPS unit, and a border collie that was barely alive. The dog had been in that truck in the October heat for days. Someone had been feeding it enough to keep it alive, or not, no one knew. The truck had been sitting on that road for at least a week before anyone noticed. No footprints led away, no disturbance in the brush, no blood, no signs of struggle. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation took over. Search teams walked the mountain grid by grid. Cadaver dogs were deployed. Helicopters swept the canopy. A pond adjacent to the road was drained and searched. Volunteers covered miles of terrain. Tracking dogs followed a scent line approximately a quarter-mile from the truck and then stopped, just stopped. The handlers described it as unusual. The scent did not continue in any direction. No witnesses, no tire tracks from a second vehicle. No one had seen the Jamisons arrive. No one saw anyone leave. For 4 years, Bobby, Sherilyn, and Madyson Jamison were nowhere. The theory that took hold centered on the cash. $32,000 in a remote location is not ordinary. Investigators noted that Bobby's journal, found in the truck, contained disjointed, possibly delusional entries. Sherilyn had tucked a handwritten note into her wallet. "I'm ready to go be with God." Local law enforcement concluded the family may have been involved in a drug transaction. The cash, the isolation, the absence of any trail, it matched a pattern. Someone met them in those mountains, took something, and ensured the Jamisons left nothing behind. Remember the dog. If the Jamisons were killed near that truck, the cadaver dogs would have found something. The pond was drained. The surrounding area was searched for weeks. Nothing decomposition-related was recovered anywhere within range of that vehicle, and the $32,000 was still on the seat. If this was a robbery, a transaction, anything that ended in violence, that money does not stay in an unlocked truck on a dirt road for 8 days. Someone would have taken it. No one did. Then there is the GPS. Bobby's unit had recent activity logged. Investigators pulled the saved coordinates. One set led precisely to the road where the truck was found. A second set pointed deeper into the mountains, a different location entirely. Investigators followed those coordinates. There was nothing there. The drug theory does not account for the cash. It does not account for the dog being kept alive. It does not account for 2 sets of GPS coordinates, one of which points to a place that contains no evidence of anything. In November 2013, 4 years after the family vanished, hunters found skeletal remains approximately 2.8 miles from the truck's location. Dental records confirmed what investigators had feared: Bobby, Sherilyn, and Madyson Jamison. The medical examiner could not determine cause of death. The remains were too degraded. No trauma was visible on the bones, no evidence of a weapon, no sign of predator activity consistent with the area. 3 people had walked 2.8 miles into that wilderness and died, and the manner in which they died left no record. The Latimer County Sheriff's Office lists the case as unsolved. No arrests, no charges. The investigation remains open. If they walked away from that truck willingly, what did they believe they were walking toward?